Hey guys! So in my previous video I briefly spoke about how I'm no longer eating oils or fats in my diet. I'm high carb, low fat vegan, and I cut oils out because of my skin. It was irritating my skin and my eczema. If you haven't seen my previous video, I'll link it in the description bar below. It's about apple cider vinegar. There's a good recipe there you can check out. So yeah, I thought I would show you today how I cook my food, because I can't use olive oil in the pan or sesame oil or anything like that in order to keep things from sticking. So some of you are probably wondering, well, how does she cook her food if she's not using oil? So I'm going to show you how to water fry and also give you a cool little recipe for my veggie fried rice. So I hope you enjoy it. So I'll put the recipe in the description bar below, but I'll just show you what I have here. I've minced up some onion, garlic, and ginger. And then I just have here some diced carrots, mushrooms, red bell pepper. This is just frozen corn and peas. I don't really measure. I just kind of do the same amount of everything. I guess it kind of looks like maybe a 1/4 cup of each. And then for sauces, the label fell off this. This is just some teriyaki, some soy sauce, sriracha. This is rice that I cooked yesterday. It's very important for fried rice. You want cold, day-old rice. And then, of course, this is just water for frying. Alright, so I'm going to be using a wok today. I'm not a professional or anything, but I just like using this when I'm frying stuff because it has an even distribution of heat. So all you're going to do is add some water in there. I got the pan on medium high. And this is what we're going to use to fry our food, just some regular water. Alright, this is going to get pretty steamy. So once your water is bubbling, that means it's hot enough. It's good to go. So, just like frying, you're going to add your onion in first. Now you want to keep the heat fairly high because you don't want this stuff to boil. I find a lot of people, when they're water frying, they use a little bit too much water and the heat's a bit too low, so you end up just boiling your veggies. That's not what we're looking for here. So once those are translucent, you can go ahead and add your garlic and ginger. Oops, sneaky carrot got in there. One does not belong. Just keep stirring. You'll find with water frying, it'll go from being a-okay to very sticky within seconds, so make sure you have your water on hand. And keep everything moving. So this is getting quite dry at this point. So I'm going to take my water, add a little more, not too much. So my onions and garlic are cooked now, and ginger. So I'm going to add the mushrooms first. I want them to absorb all that flavor. And when you're chopping your vegetables, make sure they're all chopped the same size as the smallest thing you have. So everything's about, the size of a piece of corn. This is dry again. And at this stage, with the mushrooms, I'm going to add a little ground black pepper. So those mushrooms are really going to start to shrink down and release their moisture, which will help. You won't have to add as much water. Now we're going to add our carrot, because it takes a little longer to cook than the rest of the veggies. So we'll get that in there. They're a bit sticky, you can see right here. Now these carrots are going to take a bit longer, so I'd give them probably a good 3 minutes before you add any more vegetables. Just make sure they soften a little bit before you add anything else. Every time you add water, you deglaze the pan as well, which is adding some really nice flavor to the dish. At this point, you can turn the heat down. Just over medium will be fine. Now we're going to put the bell pepper and the frozen corn and peas. They don't need long to cook. I'm going to add a little more water because it's sticking. So now that all the veggies are in, I'm going to add a tablespoon of soy sauce just to season them. Alright, now that the veg is pretty much cooked, you want to turn down the heat a little bit. Just below medium is fine, and you want to start adding in your cooked rice. And stir it to make sure it's coated with all the soy sauce and seasoning. More rice. Make sure you get all the clumps. And next, I'm going to add another tablespoon of soy sauce, half a tablespoon of teriyaki, and a little bit of sriracha.